Welcome back, everyone. This is Dragon Sky, bringing you another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Last time, we went to the moon. It landed successfully, without using our landing legs, which was odd, and returned safely and got a bunch of science for it, and we spent that science. I did notice when I was reviewing the footage basically I recorded all three of the last episodes in one section and didn't realize till later that the sound levels were way off. Basically, you could barely hear my voice over, at least when the rocket was firing, sometimes even when the music was just playing. So I readjusted the volume levels, and hopefully we will have a better experience today with the volume. But let's go ahead and get started. We are going to go ahead and build a rocket that will take us to Minmus. Also, I apologize for clearing my throat all the time. I am having a terrible time kicking this cold. Alright, let's see. What do we want? I would like to try and build a rocket, or a lander rather, that can land multiple spots, or rather land on multiple spots on Minmus, so we can get more science. Let me think about this for just a moment. Minmus has even less gravity than the moon does, so I think we'll be okay. Let's see. Okay, whatever we build is going to have to return safely with all the science on it. I think we'll shoot for 3 landing spots, so let's do something like this. I'm going to try for, like I said, 3 landing spots. There we go. And parachute, parachutes, landing legs, like I said, I'm going to show you all the building unless you unanimously tell me no. Like I said, that's my favorite part of the game, or at least one of them. Let's see, get that one just right, or at least close. That's pretty close. No, it's not. There we go, that should work. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm just having a terrible time getting over this. One-time symmetry for that. Bring along a few goos. Probably 4, depending upon how this works. Right about there. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now, our barometer isn't going to do us a bit of good on this mission, except for maybe the return, but I'm just going to leave it off this time. And we want to be able to, let's see, let's do it this way. One there. And one there. That'll give us 4 thermometers for testing the temperature at different areas. Yeah, I think that'll work alright. Okay, now that's going to be our return section to Kerbin. Although we do need batteries. Once again, overkill. But this is going to be a longer mission, so Actually, we don't need overkill. I forgot we got solar panels unlocked now. So let's just go with 2 batteries and some solar panels. Okay. Oops, how did I grab those? I meant to grab those. There we go. Now, between all those, we should get enough sunlight to keep our batteries charged. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now to build our landing section, which, let me see here. Could build it down, but I really don't like tall landers. But we might have to do that anyway. Actually, okay, let's move these up to here. We have fuel lines now, which will help greatly. Stick these batteries out here. Oops. There we go. That'll work. Excuse me. For right now, let's remove these, because I think I'm going to try and build off this side and the other side. So, actually first, yeah, that won't be too bad. Let's do that. Sorry, kind of thinking to myself here, trying to figure this out. We might want a little bit more thrust for this. I was going to go with 1 engine, but the amount of fuel we're going to need to carry for 3 separate landings and the return trip, I'm thinking we might go with 2 engines, because at first it's going to be heavier. We're going to need that extra oomph, I believe. Okay, with that there. Let's duct tape the upper section together. Like so. Ooh, that kind of looks messy, doesn't it? That's a little better. Okay. Now, engines. There's our 2 engines. And let's go with fuel lines. There we go. Yep, and the other one's on the other side. Kind of see between there. Let's see. Get a little closer. There we go. Now that center one's going to feed the outer 2, so that center one will drop off first. But now, let's go right there and strap on a couple of these. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's see how that fleshes out, rather. And the outer 2 will feed that center one. So these will actually drop off first, then the center one, And then eventually these when we're returning to Kerbin. Excuse me. Now we ain't going to have these when we get back, so we won't need to put parachutes on them or anything like that. So let's see. We do have SRS now. Or RCS, sorry. So, should we use it? Now that's going to be heavier, so we definitely want a reaction wheel. Maybe 2, but I think 1 will be plenty. Stick that in the center. And let's see, where's our center of mass? Right about there. Okay, I think that'll work. And the other thing we need is RCS fuel. Right there. And our landing legs. How does that look? That's pretty close. I think they're down a little bit much though. And they're still down a little bit much. There we go. That looks better anyway. Excuse me. Now I think, since we're going to be dropping these like between the landings, let us move these to here. Like that. There we go. That way we still have a somewhat stable platform. And we need lights. Let's see. We're going to put 2 different kind of lights. These are kind of like floodlights, and the other ones are kind of like spotlights. We're going to use the floods for the landing section, or rather the rocket viewing section, so we can actually see our rocket. Because that was kind of ridiculous how dark it was on that last mission. And we're getting a little bit of lag here. There we go. And floodlights. If I can sneak them in there, that's kind of where I want them, but it may not let me. Oh, yeah, that's not where I wanted them. That's where I wanted them. And they're kind of touching the engines on that, so let's see, let's go to here. There we go. Lights so we can see with. And actually, let's move these to right there. Now for our solar panels that we had taken off, I think, what does there look like? That's not bad. And a couple extra 2 right there. There we go. Now that should do us pretty good. Set up our staging. See, these are going to drop first. Okay. We need the engines to fire before those drop. And then that section is going to drop. And eventually these outer two. So that looks good right there. Alright, now let's finish stitching it together. Let's see, let's go 4x because we want this to be pretty strong. Another one right. And it's definitely being a little bit laggy today. There we go. Just to make it look a little more appealing. Alright. I think that'll do. Now we need our lift stage. Let's see. We're going to do somewhat similar to how we had it before. We've got these two. Let's put on our vectoring engines. Let's see. And I think since that upper stage is much heavier than our last rocket, we're going to need probably a little more fuel on this section. So let us strap on a little bit more fuel. Excuse me again. Now, since those aren't going to be doing any thrusting, or shouldn't anyway, if this design works, we shouldn't really need any struts holding those together. But we do need struts holding probably this section to the upper section, just to be safe. See, right about there. And right about there. There we go. And here to here. Okay, that looks good. Now let's see where. There we go. That'll give us, a third tank that is disposable. I don't know, it might just be extra technicality that we really don't need. I suppose I could just put them in there, but I don't know, I like complicated. I do. Alright. There. That's the big one, good. And now I believe we have the skipper to use. Yes, we do. I'm going to go those two, and I think that'll be good for this section. Alright. This may be overkill, but I don't like wet noodle rockets, so they don't fly very well. That should brace it up pretty good. And now we need our... okay, this is going to be up here, our orbital insertion stage. And this is our lift stage. So let's see. actually first. There we go. Just makes it easier. Okay, and let's add a little more fuel. There we go. Get out our space duct tape. These outer sections are going to be heavy. Like so. Alright, and right about there. That looks like a giant mess. Awesome. Excuse me. I'm thinking that might be a bit heavy to get off the ground. So what we're gonna do is modify this just a hair. Let's see. Let's do something like let me think. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. I was checking my phone. My boss is calling me, so I will call him back. Alright, what were we doing? Yes, adding a little bit more thrust to this. Let's do something along the lines of that. Like that. Looks odd, but again, it's the exact same on the other side, so we shouldn't get additional spin and things like that. So let's see. The other thing is, since that much thrust on that little of an area, we've got to really brace it up good. I know, looks like a mess. That's alright. It's all in the fun. Okay, now that way those feed to those at the same time. Alright, now we need, let's see, this one's going to fuel this one. This one is going to fuel this one. And then this one is going to fuel that one. And the reason I run them up is because if you, let's say, you just ran a fuel line from here to here, then it's going to drain the fuel up. It acts, I don't know, it just acts funny when you do that. So I think that'll be okay. Now we need to set up our staging and our engines. Let's see. Those are where they should be. Those are not where they should be. There we go. Excuse me. Alright, the first one to drop is that one. Second one to drop is that one and that one. There we go. Alright, this beast should be ready to go. Yep, I think so. Well, that covers about an episode there, so stay tuned and we'll see if this big junkyard rocket flies. That's kind of what it looks like, all thrown together like that, but that's alright. Like I said, I like complicated and weird, so let's go with it. Minmus Transit. I don't know. Sounds good. Save it. And alright. Yep, stay tuned, and next episode we'll see if this thing flies. Till then, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whichever of any of them you would like to do. Until then, this is Dragon Sky. Have a good day.